So, welcome everyone to the New York City Public Schools teacher candidate presentation. Uh, we'll get started right away. It's really great to see such a dedicated group here tonight. My name is Ohasi Felice, and I am honored to lead the first portion of this workshop. So just a little background about me. I've been with New York City Public Schools since 1998, and I know exactly how much it means where you are right now at the start of a journey to impact the lives of New York City students. So we really do appreciate you being here. So before we jump in, just a quick Zoom housekeeping items. Please keep your mic on mute while we are presenting to keep the audio clear. We are recording this and you will receive a copy of the recording that you can play back whenever you want. And if you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll be monitoring it as we go and answer as many questions as possible. Okay. All right. So I want everyone to write down this website, teachnyc.net. It is the ultimate resource for all things related to teaching at New York City Public Schools. It's been redesigned to provide great new resources and tools to help you learn about New York City Public Schools and to find the pathway to teaching that's right for you. And for tonight's presentation, this is what our agenda looks like. Today's session is for New York State certified teacher candidates or education students that are on track to be certified. The presentation has been broken up into 4 different topics. The first is an overview of New York City Public Schools. Then we're going to talk about the teacher application process, the job search process, and then as I mentioned before, as you have questions, you can just drop it in the chat. If we have time afterwards, we'll answer some questions. Our goal is for you to walk away with an understanding of how you can start the process to begin your teaching career with New York City Public Schools. Okay. And as we mentioned already, this session will be recorded. Okay. So a quick overview of New York City Public Schools. We're going to talk about a snapshot of the district, the benefits of a career with New York City Public Schools, and teacher supports and opportunities. All right, so Kamar Samuel, our chancellor, his vision is as a lifelong educator who has served in our system as a teacher, principal, and superintendent, and as the parent of 2 New York City public school students, I know firsthand that our schools are the heart of our communities. I believe that our students from early childhood through graduation deserve schools that are safe, academically rigorous, and truly integrated. They should know that their children are learning the fundamentals starting with reading, of course, and they're being challenged academically, guided by high expectations, strong instruction, and teachers who believe in them. Oops. Okay. All right. So when you join New York City Public Schools, you join the largest, most dynamic district in the nation. With over 900,000 students who speak over 180 languages and a network of 77,000 fellow teachers, New York City educators have the unique privilege and responsibility to jumpstart the next generation of innovators, leaders, and citizens. New York City Public Schools students represent a wide range of backgrounds, identities, languages, and learning needs. They need teachers who reflect their diversity and are ready and able to support their learning. Whatever your background, your experiences, skill sets are, there are students in New York City public school classrooms waiting for a teacher just like you. New York City has 1,600 schools that are as diverse as our students and the distinctive neighborhoods we serve. From neighborhood schools with deep roots in their local community to small thematic schools in the performing arts. There are schools with a focus in STEAM, humanities, and dual language. Whatever your interest or passion may be, there is definitely a school out there for you. You can choose a school that fits your teaching philosophy and engage with community of like-minded professionals. Within our schools, teachers build personal connections with their students, colleagues, and families to support relationship building and learning outcomes. We will talk later about how to find your fit and navigate the job search process in New York City. The New York State class size law means opportunities for education in New York City is only growing. We're hiring thousands of additional teachers this year to ensure our classrooms citywide are in compliance with this law. And of course, new schools equals new opportunities for our students. New York City Public Schools is always growing with new schools opening each year. This year, we opened 7 new schools. And who are we looking for? We're looking for you. New York City Public Schools is dedicated to attracting and retaining the very best teachers for our schools. We are looking for passionate, collaborative, and committed teachers who reflect the incredible diversity of our student body. We're looking for passionate teachers. Our team of exceptional educators are passionate about educating urban students, truly believing in the power education can make in students' lives. Collaborative. Our teachers thrive on constant learning and collaboration with colleagues. Committed. Our teachers go above and beyond for our students, understanding students' challenges and embracing their potential. And of course, diverse. We seek teachers who are as diverse as our students. Help put our students on the path to college, careers, and a lifetime of learning. All right, teachers have long-term impacts. A teacher's impact extends well beyond the classroom. Teachers impact student achievement 2 to 3 times more than any other aspect of schooling. Among school-related factors, studies show that teachers matter most. When it comes to student performance on reading and math tests, teachers have 2 to 3 times the effect of any other school factor, including services, facilities, and even school leadership. Research has shown that a teacher's impact on their own class has what they call spillover effects for the entire school. When you make an impact on students within your classroom, those students then go on to raise the level of achievement in their future classes. In a given school year, a teacher can make a huge impact on the students in their class. Students who can read proficiently by the end of 3rd grade are significantly less likely to drop out of high school. Graduating from high school is associated with major life benefits, including increased wealth, health, and the likelihood of employment. And there are definitely benefits of a career at New York City Public Schools. And some of the benefits are you're making a difference in the lives of your fellow New Yorkers, maybe even those in your own local communities. Focus on building a better future. You're using your skills to help develop the nation's next leaders and innovators and educators. And of course, we're building relationship with colleagues dedicated to a shared goal. You'd be joining a robust network of over 70,000 teachers. And here are some of our teachers. We have 2 teacher testimonials. The first one to your left is Sergio. He graduated from Brooklyn College, and he teaches middle school English language arts. And as you can see the quote, he says, if you're here, it's because you are passionate about education and helping students learn in the most diverse cities in the world. And to the right, we have Charlene. Charlene teaches science in a high school focused on supporting English language learners and has had the opportunity to support students during these critical years as they are learning English and preparing for college study in health sciences. And she says, working and living in New York City affords you a range of opportunities you don't see elsewhere. Okay, so here is a brief video of this is actually me. um, so it's a video of my experience as a teacher in New York City. I teach in District 6, PS 178, and I'll just play the video so that you can see for yourself. So I'm gonna mute myself.
The audio might be muted as well.
Okay, do you think if I mute myself, it's probably muted? Oh, let me check. Let's see. Um, this is
Psychology and sociology.
okay.
I've always wanted to work with kids. My bachelor's degree was in psychology and sociology. I decided that instead of going that route, I wanted to pursue my education master's and start teaching. What's beautiful about teaching now is that we are all in this together. We all work together. We all collaborate together. I'm here to facilitate, not here to lecture them for the entire period. They get to experience learning with each other. They get to experience making mistakes and learning from their mistakes. They get to experience exploring. Go for it. Being a teacher is like no other career. It's just so amazing how you can come into a building and work with a group of kids. You're shaping the future. Working in the community that I grew up has made me the person that I am today. I know the world better. And that's because I am a teacher and I work at PS 178 and I work in New York City and I work in Washington Heights. And I love it.
Okay. All right. Let's continue. All right. So on September 14 of 2026, salaries will have already started at 71,314 for bachelor's and no experience, and 80,166 with a master's and no experience. Teachers' starting salaries vary, and it's based on education and, of course, experience. You can also earn additional compensation for teaching after school or summer school programs and for teaching in demanding environments. The Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality is unable to predict what your starting salary will be based on your experience and educational attainment, regardless of the teaching pathway you choose. You can estimate your starting salary by visiting the UFT's salary schedule. It outlines opportunities for increases based on previous teaching experience, longevity at New York City public schools, and educational credits. All teachers begin at the base salary and then apply for salary steps and salary differentials using the salary application system after beginning teaching. If eligible for a higher salary due to experience, educational attainment, you must apply for a salary step, when you begin teaching full-time at the New York City public school system. You cannot apply before then. And if you are a paraprofessional, your years of service do not count toward teaching salary steps. If you are a full-time substitute teacher, your experiences do count as full-time teaching, but you need to provide documentation and proof of your full-time substitute work. Okay, so looking ahead, this slide looks ahead at what your salary would be in the future at New York City Public Schools. If you are currently in your 8th year of teaching with your master's plus your 30 credits and professional development courses, you will be at $106,907. If you have 15 years of teaching at New York City Public Schools with your master's degree plus your 30 credits and professional development courses, you would be making $128,277. Remember, this is using the pay scale for the 2026 school season. So these rates are subject to increase with the yearly raises negotiated on your UFT contract. And you can scan these three QR codes for additional salary resources. We have UFT resources, New York City Public School resources, and salary webinar recordings. Okay, and remember, you will receive the recording of this presentation, so you'll be able to scan out when you do receive it, if that's easier for you. Okay, so let's talk about the robust benefits. So we have comprehensive health insurance plan which includes dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Some of the plans require no employee contribution. We have annual retention bonuses prorated during your first year and increase each year. You have membership with United Federation of Teachers, or UFT, enrollment in pension plan, and New York City Public Schools employees are eligible for many additional benefits, including commuter benefits, a college savings program, and employee discounts on everything from technology and media to travel and education. In addition, scholarships, financial incentives, and other special programs are available for many employees. In addition to this, we also have a loan forgiveness program, and there's the QR code for the Federal Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. New York City Public School employees may also be eligible for this program. The PSLF program forgives the remaining balance of your direct loans after you've made the equivalent of 120 qualifying monthly payments under an accepted repayment plan and while working full-time for an eligible employer. So this is always really good to know. Okay, new teachers in New York City hit the ground running with professional resources and learning opportunities tailored just for them. In addition to the many career development opportunities available to all teachers, we offer robust support for our new teachers in person, online, and in community settings. These include New Teacher Week. The New Teacher Week is an annual event where new teachers can get inspiration from special guest speakers, learn from key policies, engage with the United Federation of Teachers, or UFT, and network with their fellow teachers. School-based mentoring. New hires with an initial or Trans B license are assigned an experienced and trained mentor teacher to support professional growth throughout the first year. And there's also the First Class newsletter, which is a monthly digital bulletin for first-year teachers that spotlights vetted resources, teaching tips, and answers to common new teacher questions. Teachers in New York City public schools, no matter where they are in their careers, also have access to professional development opportunities at their schools, including coaching, professional development days, and after-school learning opportunities. In addition to school-based supports, optional development opportunities are made available by various teams, including New York City Public School offices and the UFT. We also offer digital resources for busy teachers to find resources for their classrooms and regularly stay connected with them to stay connected to opportunities to extend their learning and impact. So we have a second video. We want you to hear from Victoria and her mentor, David, about how mentor-mentee relationship helps them both learn and grow. And of course, I briefly mentioned that all new New York City public school teachers receive mentorship. Let me make sure. Okay.
I was fortunate that my principal let me become her mentor. I feel it makes teaching even more enjoyable because you're responsible to hear out your mentees' ideas. We get to learn from each other, like our different teaching styles.
Being open to feedback, because at the end of the day, your mentor wants you to be a better teacher. They're not trying to criticize you.
To be a new teacher coming to New York City, it can be intimidating. And to know that you're going to have someone within your academic subject area to support you is something that I think everyone should know that is offered from New York City.
We have a lot of phys ed teachers that were able to collaborate, were able to share ideas to make the experience better for the students. Some students are individual and some do have different triggers. It's nice to ask a veteran teacher, you had this student for 3 years. What did you do that helped this student?
Other people have the same issues. It's not just you. You're not alone on an island. Like other people are experiencing the same thing. Veteran teachers, rookie teachers.
We're very fortunate here, and being able to just bounce ideas off and learn from what other people are doing is just so great.
Okay. All right. Teachers also have opportunities for teacher leader to become teacher leaders. Teacher leader responsibilities include leading a laboratory classroom, facilitating professional collaborations, coaching peers and colleagues, and advocating in leadership conversations. And you can scan the QR code if you are interested and would like more information. And these teacher leader opportunities can help you earn an additional $20,000 per year. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about early childhood education. Okay, so our pre-K initiative is currently servicing all 32 districts, supporting 40,000 plus students. Early childhood teacher candidates can work in one of 4 early childhood settings in New York City district schools: pre-K centers, charter schools, or community-based organizations known as CBOs. You can see the 4 settings represented on my school's map, which is a free online resource for all prospective teachers. The different settings are represented by different colored hands, which you can see on the right side of your screen. We have district schools and pre-K centers, and those are on the left here, the light blue hands. District programs are early childhood classrooms. Excuse me. District District programs are early childhood classrooms located in district elementary schools, and there are about 700 plus across New York City. We have pre-K centers, and they are standalone buildings that only offer 3K and pre-K grades and classrooms. If you work at one of these sites, you are an employee of the New York City Public Schools. You must hold a New York State early childhood teaching certificate by the start of the school year to work in one of these settings. Next, we have charter schools, and you can see the charter schools with the green hands. New York City Public Schools works with 15 to 20 charter schools in New York City that offer early childhood programs. They usually have their own human resources and hiring practices, but this is an option for you as a teacher candidate. Then we have New York City Early Education Centers, known as community-based organizations or CBOs, and those are the orange hands over there. CBOs are independent community-based organizations that contract with New York City Public Schools to provide free early childhood programs. There are over 1,200 across New York City. Look at how the orange hands are on the New York City Finder map, all the way to the right. You can see how many programs we have, and it's highlighted in orange. Each CBO employs its own teachers. They are not employees of the City of New York. As a teacher candidate, it is important to understand the benefits of CBOs in order to maximize your job search and potential to secure a teaching position. For more information, you can scan the QR code on this slide, which will take you to the early childhood section of our website. There you will be able to find more information about all of the early childhood settings. There are many different opportunities for early childhood educators. The left shows all of the opportunities for certified teachers. If you are certified or on track to be certified by September 2026, we recommend completing the New York City Public Schools teacher application at teachnyc.net as soon as possible. When completing the application, you can then select whether you would be interested in teaching at CBOs. Saying yes to CBOs will greatly increase your job prospects. For those who are not yet certified and will not be certified by September of 2026 and are interested in teaching early childhood, we recommend that you complete the Early Childhood Teacher Finder when it launches. With this, you have the opportunity to teach in CBOs as a lead teacher on a study plan, which allows you to teach full-time and earn a salary. While completing your certification requirements, for more information, you can scan the QR code on the right, or actually in the center of the slide. And let's talk a little bit about teacher aides, because you also have opportunities to become a teacher aide. You would have to be at least 18 years of age, and you would have to hold a high school diploma or equivalent. To become an assistant teacher in a CBO, you would need to hold a New York State assistant teacher certificate and have a high school diploma or equivalent. To qualify as a lead teacher, there are two different opportunities. You can become a certified lead teacher by earning your New York State Early Childhood Teaching Certification. But the opportunity that may interest many of you is the role of a lead teacher on a study plan. Now, to qualify at the pre-K level, you would need a bachelor's degree with either completed coursework in early childhood education or experience working in early childhood education with children under 6. To qualify at the 3K level, you must hold a bachelor's degree in a related field or an associate's degree with experience and a commitment to obtain your New York State early education teacher certification within 7 years of employment. This is an amazing opportunity for individuals who will not be certified by September, as the lead teacher on a study plan position would allow you to teach full time and earn a salary while completing your certification requirements. Finally, we have the role of education director, which requires New York State certification in early childhood, birth to second grade or grades 1 through 6, and at least 2 years of lead teacher experience. This is a fantastic leadership opportunity within CBOs, as education directors are essentially the principals of the programs. And that wraps up our New York City Public Schools overview and the section on early childhood education, early childhood opportunities. I'm passing this along to my colleague, Caitlin, who's going to walk you through exactly how to navigate the application process. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hi all. Hopefully you're having a really nice night. I'm going to start by talking about the application process. So New York State teacher certification is a requirement for permanent teaching position at a New York City public school. Most of our applicants have already earned their certification or will have it by the time they plan to begin full-time teaching. If you're in a teacher preparation program or holding a teaching certification in another state, you must apply for New York State certification at nysed.gov. You should submit your New York City teacher application while you're completing your certification requirements or while you're waiting for your certification. So you don't need to wait until your certification is finalized in order to apply. There are a few unique teaching opportunities if you aren't yet certified, which we're going to talk about in the next few slides before getting into the application process. So if you're at a certain point in your schooling, you may have an opportunity to obtain an internship certificate. The internship certificate is a year certificate available to students who have completed at least 50% of an approved New York State graduate program, leading to an initial certificate. And internship certificate helps to meet immediate need across New York City. So obtaining hands-on teaching experience while completing your degree and initial certificate requirements and beginning earning a full-time salary while still in school. For those that are interested, you must complete the New York City Public School Teacher application and upload an internship eligibility letter, which is found on our website. So what is this exactly? It's a 2-year certificate available to students who have completed at least 50% of an approved New York State graduate program, leading to their initial certificate. Why might you want to do this? To help meet immediate needs across New York City, obtain the hands-on teaching experience while completing your degree and initial certificate requirements. You also begin earning a full-time teaching salary while you're still in school. And so how to do this? You're going to complete that New York City Public School Teacher application and then upload a letter from your university about your internship certificate eligibility as your certification documentation. So everyone who's interested in teaching for the upcoming school year must complete the New York City teacher application on teachnyc.net. So while applying to teach in the New York City public schools, you should think of several important action steps. The action steps are not necessarily listed in order, since you can submit your New York City teacher application without being officially certified. So oftentimes teacher candidates want to know, should I wait to be certified before I apply? All teacher candidates should know that absolutely you should do this before their certification is issued. So applying before you're certified is recommended and it's also expected. So do not wait until after your certification comes through to apply. This could really delay your potential employment in the New York City public schools. You'll get your teacher certification through the New York State Education Department. So it is important to note that the New York State Education Department is a separate entity from the New York City public schools. So the New York State Education Department is the main entity, and that's where they issue the certifications. So in short, if New York State Education Department says that you're certified, then you're ready to be hired under your certification. So make sure that you're working closely with your college or university office to ensure that you complete all the certification requirements. Certifications are now issued on a rolling basis, so the faster you're certified, the easier it's going to be for you to get hired. So here's the application process. So first, you're going to complete the common profile, then complete the New York City Public School teacher application. Then the New York City Public School is going to review your application. The application is entered into the new teacher finder, and then you're going to begin your search at the New York City Public Schools. And just we want to share some stats from this past hiring season. So in 2025, we saw that close to 30% of applications were started before March. Over 40% of hires were completed before July 15th. An average of 8 days between application start and submit, and an average of 83 days between the application submission and the hiring date. So again, we're encouraging you to please start those applications as soon as possible. So this here is a screenshot of the teachnyc.net, where you'll go to apply. Once you get to teachnyc.net, click Apply Today. It's going to show a drop-down for all of the different applications. For the teacher application, please select Certified Teacher Application. For those that will be certified in early childhood and are interested in those CBOs, select the CBO application. It is currently closed, but you can express interest in it. And then before you start your application, you should check out the teacher application guide, which will walk you through the process. You can find the guide by going on our homepage and scrolling past the application information. The guide shares information on preparing your New York City teacher application. This includes how to create an account, completing your common profile, tips and notes, and frequently asked questions. It also introduces you to our online support center. So we do really recommend that you scan that QR code. And if you're a new user to the New York City teacher application, you'll need to select New User. If you use the teacher application in a previous year, you can use your previous login information in order to gain access to the system. If for any reason you can't remember your previous login information, or you're not sure if you had one, you can go into our system and just select Not Sure. So here's what the account registration page looks like. You'll have to complete all of the required information and register your account before you can move on to the next steps of the application portal. This is a secure government website, so you don't have to worry about your personal information because it will be protected. So you do have to fill out all of the information, including your email, your social security, and a password. And here's an example of the icons and required fields that you're also going to need to complete on your application. So now we're going to talk about the applicant profile. So as a note, there are 2 different parts to the application. One part is to complete your New York City public school profile, and the second part is the teacher application. You must complete both sections in order to complete your teacher application. Here are some of the sections you'll have to complete as part of your profile. So one is the account information and work eligibility. So this step asks for basic contact information and a few questions regarding work eligibility. To be eligible to work in New York City, you must meet citizenship or residency requirements. You must complete all parts of the eligibility question, especially if you answered yes to the work authorization status, and indicate the specific work authorization status that you have. Do note, if you do not disclose the work authorization status, your application isn't going to be able to move forward. Next, you have your education. So teacher applicants must enter their education history for both high school and post-secondary information. Candidates holding advanced or multiple degrees must first enter undergraduate degree information before entering any additional advanced degrees. The third is your experience and references. So the work experience information entered here in this section can be used to help inform the starting salary of teacher candidates when they're hired. So for this reason, the accurate input of professional experience is very important. Next, we have additional information. So applicants can attach their resume in this section. So attachments cannot exceed 1 megabyte in size. So we do encourage you to upload your resume as a PDF to preserve your formatting. As you progress through the teacher application, you can customize your resume once you've completed your profile and apply for specific positions. And then the disclaimer and release statement. So read through the disclaimer and the release statement to acknowledge submission of information in the application system. The second part is the New York City teacher application. So the main items required for the application are certification documentation. So this is proof of certification or a letter from your university stating that you're on your way to be certified by September 1st, 2026. Your resume and work history, your academic history, and your professional references. Additional components include a Common Core aligned lesson plan and a personal statement. So we're looking for evidence that demonstrates that you're a polished professional who has thoughtfully submitted an application to the New York City Public Schools. In the job search, so next you can specify your preferences. So in the job search profile of the New York City Public School teacher application, there are multiple questions that allow you to specify the preferences for grade level, borough, and program type. So grade levels. You can select your grade level preference in this part of the application. This preference should match your certification areas. So don't select a preference for a grade level that you're not certified to teach. Borough preference. Indicate the locations where you'd be most interested in finding a job. As you might know, the New York City Public Schools is the largest school district in the country, so operating over 1,600 schools in all 5 boroughs. Therefore, understanding your preferences is part of where you would like to work is important to our staff. The first question looks at your top 3 borough preferences. If you're only willing to accept a position in 1 or 2 boroughs, please mark those as 1 and 2 in your preference selections, and mark no preference for the third option. You can revisit this section of the application as often as you like. If your circumstances change, though, throughout the hiring season, you can adjust your preferences that you've previously already shared. Then you have District 75. This is a non-geographic district and is providing quality, rigorous, individualized education programs to students with significant challenges. If you're in an eligible certification area, your resume may be shared with District 75 schools in the geographic regions that you specified. You can also indicate interest in working in D75 to help District 75 principals focus on your application. And then saying yes to CBOs. In the job search profile section of the application, you also have the option to indicate your interest in early childhood positions. If you're certified or on track to be certified to teach early childhood education, after you selected the early childhood teaching position of interest, we encourage you to select yes to have your application made available to CBO hiring managers to maximize your early childhood job prospects. Each year, the majority of early childhood hiring occurs in New York City CBOs, and by selecting yes, you'll have access to hundreds of early childhood positions. Also, as a reminder, New York City CBOs are the only opportunity through the New York City Public Schools to be a lead teacher without yet having your New York State certification. So the not yet certified positions may be of interest to some of you that might not be certified by the start of the school year, but are interested in getting classroom teaching experience and earning a salary starting right now. So to learn more, go to teachnycprek.org. And certified teachers working at community-based CBOs and in 4410/4201 programs now make the same starting salary as teachers working in the New York City public school districts and pre-K centers. So for each certification or extension that you hold, you're going to be asked to input the following information. So first, your certification status. So your certification issue date, the requirements completed but certified but not yet issued, or certified in another state. Also, certification type, subject area, grade level, certification issue date, or expected issue date, and your educational pathway to certification. So did you attend a traditional teacher preparation program, or did you participate in a New York City Teaching Fellows? So do note that you need to enter this information for each certification and extension that you do hold. And then proof of certification. So one of the most common reasons why teacher candidates' applications get held up during the review process is that they do not upload the correct or current supporting documentation showing they're certified or on track to be certified. So if you hold a New York State teacher certification already, you will need to submit an electronic copy of the current, so unexpired, teacher certificate or a screenshot of your Teach account showing that you're current, so active, New York State certification. And if you're on track to receive your teacher certification by September of 2026, you must submit an on-track letter completed by your college or university. So you can find a sample of this by scanning the QR code right here. And then your resume template. So we don't have a required New York City public school resume template, but we do provide prospective teachers with a resume template in the teacher application guide. We also do encourage graduate school students of education to take advantage of your Career Services Center. Your college and university is going to be able to support you with your resume before you upload it to the application. You'll also have the chance to upload another copy of your resume in the application. So this is in addition to what's expected in your common profile. So this is a chance to ensure that your resume reflects your experience and qualifications to become a New York City public school teacher. Your resume is a critical part of your first impression. So here are some tips for composing your resume. Think of your audience. So consider what the hiring manager is looking for from an ideal candidate. Then your qualifications. So list your areas of certification and any relevant experience. Examples. So use action words and specific examples to highlight your skills and accomplishments. Review. So keep your resume clear and concise. Also check for grammatical and spelling errors. And then the format. Apply consistent formatting and save your resume as a PDF. Bringing up the overview again, after completing the Common Profile and the New York City Public School Teacher application, all applicants will then receive a confirmation email from the Office of Teacher Recruitment and Quality confirming the receipt of their application. All applications will be reviewed to determine certification eligibility. Only applications that meet standards are entered into the new teacher finder. So this is a database for candidates to connect with schools and access job postings and other resources. We're going to talk about that very shortly. And then now you can officially start your job search. So looking at an application timeline, we just want to give you a sense of this. So the application opened on January 12th and remains open throughout the summer. There's a lot of mid-year hiring that takes place during the early winter months, and the principals begin hiring and interviewing for the following school year. Early commitment is an initiative for candidates certified in high subject need areas to be able to accept positions in certain districts prior to budgets being released for peak hiring season. This year, we even have a stipend available for candidates who accept an early commitment before June 16th. Then finally, peak hiring season is typically June through August. And so early commitment programs. So all subjects are eligible. Schools and select districts can make hiring commitments to candidates between March and June. Opportunity for candidates to secure a position before school budgets are released in June. And a stipend amount differs by district. So here we can see schools in districts 7, 9, 12, 32, and 75, including District 79 and access schools within these geographic districts would get $5,000. And schools in districts 8, 10, 11, 16, 17, 19, 23, and 27, including District 79 and access schools within these geographic districts would get $3,000 in stipends. So do mark on your calendars or save this in your phone, but the peak hiring application deadline is coming up and it's May 7th. So the requirements to teach at a New York City public school. So basically, to sum everything up, in order to teach at a New York City public school, you must be certified, so complete the requirements and apply for New York State teaching certification. Submit a New York City teacher application at teachnyc.net when it opens in January. So do remember that you do not have to wait for your certification to start that application. And finally, finding your own position. So doing your own outreach and networking, which we will going to speak about in this next section. So finding your fit. So one way you can promote success in your job search is considering districts, neighborhoods, and schools where your talents are most needed. So if you're certified in certain high demand subject areas, this is especially true. So if you're really determined to work here, you should think strategically about where you're looking for a position. If you want to go where the jobs are, consider teaching in the Bronx or Brooklyn. This year, 52% of our new hires occurred in schools in those two boroughs. It's important that you find a school that's the right fit for you, but don't exclude schools because they're slightly out of your comfort zone or in a different borough from where you live. Almost all of our schools are easily accessible by public transportation, and we have students who need great teachers in all 5 of the boroughs. So high need subject areas. So while we hire across all certification areas and backgrounds, we want to highlight the current hiring priorities for New York City public schools. These priorities can shift from year to year based on the needs of our schools. If candidates are not yet certified, or the candidates are considering adding an extension to your certification, these are areas where principals will be hiring and where there's a high demand for more teachers to be certified. We encourage you to consider one of these areas where teachers are in high demand. If you have an extension or another certification in one of these subject areas, it might be wise to leverage to increase your job perspective. So we have special education, the sciences, math, English as a new language, bilingual education, world languages, and career and technical education. And then here are some tips for finding that right position of yours. So you want to research schools online, conduct outreach to schools directly, so emailing them directly, and then using the new teacher finder and other job boards, network with colleagues and professors and friends, and attend any of the New York City Public School networking events. And so the new teacher finder, or the NTF, that's going to be your best friend in this search. So one helpful job search is that NTF. Once you submit a high quality application, you're going to get access to the new teacher finder. You'll be able to log in and use the new teacher finder in several different ways. Your application profile will become viewable to principals and recruiters. You'll be able to search for teaching positions. So it is important to note that not all principals list their positions in that new teacher finder, but many do, and this will give you a sense of what's out there. But principals may not post positions, but they could also be looking, which is why it's important to reach out to. If you're certified in a high need subject area, you may receive invitations to New York City Public School sponsored recruitment events during the spring or the summer. Also, please note, not all candidates are invited to all events online and in person. Overall application quality, event capacity, and current certification needs are taken into consideration when inviting candidates to these networking events. Now here's another screenshot. It's of what the new teacher finder looks like. So after selecting search all positions on the left panel, you can filter the position type, your preferred borough, grade level, subject area, and then principals enter their vacancies into this new teacher finder. And you're going to express interest via here, but we can encourage you to email the principals directly. To learn more about specific schools, you can go to schools.nyc.gov and use the school search feature right on the homepage. So you can search for schools by their name, their borough, their grade level, and this is going to help to narrow down your options. However, you'll want to remember that the tool lists every single school in our system, not just those with openings. So once you've identified schools that you're interested in, you'll need to contact them directly to inquire about whether they have a position available. So researching schools. Clicking on an individual school's name will take you to a page that consists of a wealth of information. So you can click on a school's website and go directly there. You can click on an overview to see some data about their grade levels, their enrollment, district, and more. You can click on a school quality for direct links to their school quality guides and reports for this school, and also for reports for additional information about their programs, finances, and more. So it's really important to think about standing out virtually. As you're conducting your job search, you'll want to think about ways that will help you stand out virtually. This can include creating a profile, ensuring your cover letter and resume are strong, so very clear and concise, and uploading a portfolio or videos of a demo lesson that you've done. You can upload all of this information in the Spotlight section of the new Teacher Finder so that principals can see that when they view your application. You can also send it in directly to principals and hiring managers when you're doing your own outreach. But do note that your demo lesson should be uploaded to an online platform such as Google or Dropbox, and then you can include it in a link to your portfolio. And with the right strategies and approaches, you can find the position that's perfectly right for you. So just thinking some next steps and questions that we might have. So you can visit the online support center. It's 24 hours of support with the application and hiring process. The support center contains hundreds of articles about every stage of your application and the hiring process, as well as a contact us button where you can submit your question to the TRQ help desk for more of a personalized response. You can also, and we'll put this into the chat in a moment, but you can also reach out to here. It's teachnyc.net/stay connected full. And so we'll put that in the chat in just one. I'll actually do that right now quickly so that everybody has that to save. Okay, so I did just put that in the chat for everyone. And then next, also, we do really encourage you to follow us on social media. We have a very active LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And last season, we reached millions of prospective and current teachers through all of the posts that we had. So please do follow us and tag us and join that conversation. And you can also check us out on YouTube, watch any of the video recordings of all our information sessions.